Hello and welcome to another portrait portrait tutorial. My name is Jay Kilgore. These videos are being brought to you today by a couple of my sponsors. The first one is Photoshop User. You can find these guys at www.photoshopuser.com. Actually, the name of the company is National Association of Photoshop Professionals, or NAP. And the other one is Wacom tablets. You can find them at www.wacom.com. If you're not using a Wacom Pen tool, you're not living life. In my opinion, you shouldn't be in Photoshop if you don't have a pen tablet, Wacom especially. Today, this tutorial is going to be on Liquify. One of the biggest things that I notice is that sometimes when the Liquify tool is used, it is probably the most improperly used tool ever. One of the big things that I get about my photos is that they look great and people can't tell that I've really done any kind of work. They think that they look as slimming and good as my pictures show. I should note that I never go overboard. The things that I do are very minor. Um, the whole use for Liquify tool can be alleviated in a lot of parts. For example, this model, her name is Rachel. She came in the summer of 2007, wanted to get some pictures done, some glamour pictures taken. She's a very pretty young lady. I said, sure, come on in. We got the shoot set up. Everything was taken care of, the business end, and we got to shoot. Before the shoot, at her consultation, I told her to not wear anything short sleeve, just because it will accentuate areas that we don't want. I guess she kind of went for the flip. She gave me a little bit more um, open neck here and not enough arm covering. I said, stay away from short sleeves and anything tight, form fitting. She went with the opposite of what I said, so here I am where I am right now. So what I'd like to do, I guess, is jump right into this video, get it knocked out, get it taken care of. The Liquify tool that I do is very simple. It's very basic. You just a couple of things you need to learn, and once you learn it, you're good to go. I always work on layers. That's the number one thing that I push, I promote. I am totally behind. I have a lot of friends who go ahead and they work everything on the background layer, and we turn out 6 months later they are wishing that they had worked it on the layer and shot raw and whatever, go on and so forth. So the first thing that I do when I come into a picture is I go ahead and open it. There's a couple of ways you can get set a duplicate layer. You can drag the image and go right down there. That'll duplicate your layer for you. You see it right there. The problem that I have with that is that by doing that, I have no idea what that layer is. So when I have 15, 20 layers, I'm turning each one off and on to try and figure out where am I at, what did I do. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold on the Alt key, or I think on the Apple it's Option, and you're going to drag it down there. We're going to pull up this box. We're going to rename this Liquify, because that's what we're going to do. The Liquify tool is a huge tool that takes up a lot of resource space. So one of the things that I would recommend is isolate the area that you want to liquify. I think that that's going to be the best way to do it. By isolating the area that you want to liquify, you're going to use far less of your computer resources, and that's definitely a good thing. In this video, we're gonna concentrate on her hip here. She's got a little bit of a lump just from the clothes and from the unnatural bend here. You can see like where her dress skirt line right here is kind of cutting into her skin and gives kind of like the bump here. Here's the back of her pocket if you follow her pocket up. So we're gonna push all of this in, slim it out just a little bit. We're not going to get crazy with it and totally reshape her and all that. We're just going to accentuate her curves a little bit more. So we're gonna go to the Liquify tool, So we're going to go to filter, then we're going to go down to liquify. As you can see, we made that little box, and this is all that we get shown. So that's awesome. The first thing that I do once I'm in the liquify tools, we're going to go here. We're going to go here to the freeze mask. When we go to the freeze mask, what we're doing is we're going to color out areas that we don't want to be affected by the liquify tool. So we're going to scribble here, we're going to color here, we're going to get all right here. This is just a quick tutorial video, so we don't really need to pay too much attention to to areas. For example, say right here in her arm, if for some reason I made a mistake and I went too far right there, all you gotta do is just grab the eraser tool and you can erase it away. Any area that is red from the freeze mask, you can't push or pull. Any area that you go over that you don't want to, again, just grab the eraser tool. You can pretty much do whatever you want. There's Leroy. Now comes the hard work, the actual work. You're going to click on your tool there. What I like to do is use the brackets out, get a pretty nice big brush selection. Again, anything that's red we can't manipulate, so what I like to do is start pretty much on the red and start to push. Push, 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 push. We're just gonna push along the lines here, get everything nice and going and looking well. One of the things that I've noticed when I see this is that if you take a look at this dress line, you'll see that there is a line. So if you have an art director or somebody who's going to be looking at your photos and they're going to be looking for the realistic and say that the dressmaker made this dress, they're going to want as real or accurate representation as possible. So just make sure that we know she's got the dress, we know that it's about right here. So we're going to push in just a little bit around that dress area. The other thing that I'm going to want to do is come over here. If I was actually working on this picture, I would slim up the arm a little bit. But since I'm not, I'm going to freeze this area right here because let's come out just a little bit more. I want to freeze her arm because we don't have enough time for me to get into the specifics. And I'm going to move this little area here back just a tad. I'm going to keep the wrinkles and stuff like that, but we're just giving her a new little shape. So we're going to go ahead and click on OK. That's what she looks like. And we're going to hit Control D so we can get rid of that box. This is what she looks like with the adjustment. Again, this isn't 120% perfect. I'm just kind of showing the power of it. There's without, there's with, there's without, there's with. If I were to be doing this and paying attention to it, I would slim this out just a little bit more. This area right here, I'd slim it out just a little bit more. And then, of course, I'd start working on her arms a little bit more. But we're not. Another thing, just because I have it, just because I have this picture open, another thing that I like to do is when I have the Liquify tool open, I like to liquify where there's places to liquify. And you'll see in 2 seconds what I mean. Being that she's wearing such a low cut top here, one thing that I like to do is add just a little bit of oomph to everything. By doing this, is it dishonest? Is it Photoshop distraction? I'll let you decide. But you know what? We have it here. We're not giving her huge, ginormous, triple, double D's or anything like that. We're just adding just a little bit to what she's already got. So if we take this off, that's what it looked like before. That's what it looks like afterwards. We just brought this over a little bit more. We gave her a little bit more cleavage, and we just added a little bit more to this side over there just like that. Again, is it being dishonest? Am I going to die and burn in hell for it? Possibly, but according to my mom, I'm gonna die and burn in hell because I shoot nude photographs of women anyway. Again, if you like this video, please feel free to check out more. My message board is www.tossthebox.com or jakehilgore.com or coloradosupershoots.com. I hope you enjoy this video and stick around for some more. Thank you.